So we're going to look at a function rule for a real world situation. And in this case, the real world situation is that you have a job and the job pays you $11.50 per hour. Well, there's no one-time bonus, which means you don't get paid unless you show up to work. So you make $0 for 0 hours, and for every hour after that, you make $11.50 per hour. Well, the equation is pretty simple. It's just 11.50 times x. And the value of x needs to be a reasonable domain. And they tell you that you can work anywhere from 10 hours per week at the bare minimum up to a maximum of 40 hours per week. And you'll notice that we've got a little inequality sandwich going on right here. So the smallest amount of hours that you can work is 10. And x could be anywhere between 10 and 40 hours per week. And we could work exactly 10 hours and we could work exactly 40 hours. And any number of hours, I'm guessing probably just whole hours in between. And now we're going to use that rule and we're going to come up with a table of y values. And remember, x's are the domains. These are your domains and those are your inputs. So think about this like an input-output machine. You input 10 hours of work and you output money. So out here is your range values. These are your y's. And if x is 10 hours, y is equal to 11.50 times 10, right? We just multiply the hourly wage times how many hours you work. And I know that when I move the decimal over, I'm going to make $115, I guess, before taxes. When I put in 10 hours worth of work, well, I mean, I guess we can just keep doubling this. Let's double that. $115, multiply that by 2 because it'll be 20 hours of work. So if I make $115 for 10, it'll be $230 for 20. I'm going to go ahead and just double that again. That's going to be $460 for 40. And I don't really need to go back and check my math. And if I add another $115, that would be $345. So I'm guessing that looks like it's going to jive. And there's our table of values. So these are our ordered pairs, and now we're going to go draw the graph. So when x was 10, y was $115. So x is 10, and y was 115. I'm guessing that's going to be kind of a dot about right there. And when x is 20, we made $230. So that's going to be right about there. Oh, no, not right there. Let's get it on the right line. $230 is going to be right about there. And then let's go back to the table of values. So 30 was $345. So at 30 hours, $345. And then the last one I think was $460 for 40 hours of work for 40. So 460 looks something like that. And you can see that we've got this kind of linear trend, and we can draw a line that shows, since it asks for a line graph, this is all the possible, I'm drawing the straightest possible line. Those are all the possible values of dollars I could make depending on how many hours I work. So my domain would be anything from, if I wanted to put it in interval notation, it would be 10, 40, right? It would be everything in between 10 and 40. And we actually looked at the inequality on the last slide too. And the range represents all the amount of money I could make, all the dollar amounts. And the smallest amount that we could make was $115. And the most money we made was $460. That's the maximum we could make. If I wanted to write that as an inequality, it would look something like this. 115 is less than or equal to y, which was less than or equal to $460. And